Hello and a warm welcome. This is the Warcry Reporter. Battle reports to listen to. Rofo is scouting the woods again, and he sees something really interesting. Someone's coming, so he's reporting to Wiggaut. Admiral, the Witch of the Burning Hands is coming. What? How is she coming? Alone? Yes, Admiral, she's alone, and heading directly here. She's not even trying to hide herself. Oh, I see. Bring her here. I think she wants to talk. And Rofo is exactly doing that. He approaches the witch carefully, and she states that she came to talk. So they set up a camp and wait for Wiggaut to arrive. So, what can I do for you?
First, I want to say that I am very happy that you are willing to talk to me.
Why shouldn't I? And stop the pleasantries. Get to the point.
Okay. We would like your support. It will be worth your while.
Really? Keep talking.
A mercenary warband called the Seven Cooks has allied themselves with the untamed beasts of the Sennen clan. They are searching the ruins of Lucariana. We would like to search it first.
Lucariana, you say? That's interesting for us too.
Oh good, so we have a deal? Or do you want to know more about the other warbands?
We know them. We are looking for a smithing hammer. So every hammer found by us or you is ours. Everything else we split 50-50.
30-70 in our favor. We know where to find the ruins.
Deal. After Silver left, Rofo mentioned to Wiggaut that it is a strange deal he made. But Wiggaut just grins and tells him that the Stormbringer hammer is likely to be hidden in the ruins of Lucariana. Getting the hammer is worth many bad deals. The ruins of Lucariana, an area scattered with ruins that once belonged to a big temple complex. Many warbands camped here before and left their fortifications and adjustments. But the place is cursed, and staying here will make everyone's life miserable, to the point where people just kill themselves. The warbands meet in a part of Lucariana with ruins in the southwest, the northeast, and along the eastern edge. 2 trees are each southeast and southwest of the middle, creating an open space in the middle of the battlefield. The Burning Hands and the Bugmans regulars are the attackers. They have to burn 5 totems. The Sennen clan believes that these totems will protect them from the evil spirits. With the totems gone, they will leave too. The Ogres and the untamed beasts are in the middle of the battlefield searching the ruins, as the Bugmans regulars and the Burning Hands run onto the battlefield from the south. East to west we see Adzek, a Zangor, that joined the Burning Hands on top of a ruin, on his flying disc, armed with a mighty bow. Also on that ruin is Rotan, trying to get a good overview. Still in the ruin but hidden is Rofo, waiting for the right moment to strike. And Thongil is next in line. Out in the open he's running, already pointing his Betty at the Myrmidon Karza. Next to him we see Cariel, the brazen champion, also heading straight for the Myrmidon. Between the trees, Corvus, the brazen lord, and Varen, who replaces Dust on the never-ending flame, are eager to get into the fight too. Wiggaut, Snuffout, and Tashar are also in the open and are charging towards Oshur. On the defenders' side, we see east to west Kafal the First Fang, Karza the Mighty Myrmidon, Torbar the Keule, and Oshur, a replacement for Mark. But members of both sides are missing, so I guess reinforcements will arrive soon. And surprisingly, the defenders start the battle. Torbard looks like he was just waiting for the attackers to arrive, and Karza the Myrmidon reacts immediately also. Torbert fires his cannon into Varin and hits 2 times. Oh, the flames of Varin are snuffed out, just like that. To the east, Karza is charging Thongir, takes a leap and rams his spear into the Overlord. The breaking of armor can be heard. Thongir is just standing there, he's not moving. Oh, Karza turns his spear. Thongir takes a few steps back, goes on his knees and falls to the ground. Cariel, the brazen champion, was just waiting for the Myrmidon to come closer. He's going on a rampage against Karza. He strikes, Karza blocks. He strikes again, Karza blocks again. The damned shield of the Myrmidon. And with a mighty last strike from above, Cariel just hits thin air. Karza jumped out of the way. Maybe a bit more control next time, Mr. Brazen Champion. Oh, Rotan is infuriated. He screams at Karza, the Myrmidon, takes a step forward and the Volligan starts screaming too. And he starts laughing, releasing a sheer cloud of bullets at the Myrmidon. When the roar of the Volligan finally ends, it is gleaming bright red, and the Myrmidon is bleeding from many, many little holes. But he does not seem impressed much. Oshur in the east is holding, and Kafal, the first Fang in the west, is just taking a few steps forward. What are these two planning? And the Brazen Lord Corvus is moving towards the Myrmidon. He clearly can't let such a challenge go unanswered. He strikes at Karza, but the Myrmidon is again able to get his shield in the way. Oh, but Corvus was expecting that, and hits him anyways with a very skilled move of his blade. In the west, Admiral Wiggaut is giving the scene in the east not even a glance. He just saw Oshur and starts running towards him, ignoring his bodyguard's warning. And Oshur, of course, reacts to the approaching Overlord by falling back. He climbs up the ruin behind him and grins at Wiggaut. An unexpected move for an ogre for sure. In the west, Asek is using his speed to get to one of the less guarded totems. And Tasha in the east is yelling and running after Wiggaut. But back to the fight in the east against Karza. He got the attention of a lot of fighters there. And also Rofu is not unaffected. He moves out of hiding and takes a shot at the Myrmidon. He hits, but it's just a scratch. But Cariel of the Burning Hands uses the distraction, and with his fiery might he strikes at Karza. Yeah, 1 hit. Yeah, 2nd hit. And Karza goes down. And the rest of the defenders arrive. In the north, close to Asek, Emlava and Hetan arrive, as well as Fitchek, who runs with a grin towards Asek. Emlava is following Fitchek, but she's way faster and gets to Asek, trying to jump at him. But Asek just swings up and Emlava can't reach him anymore. Wiggaut, now more in the middle of the battlefield, keeps running. He's calling to his ancestors for their fortitude and engages Torbert. And back to Asek and Emlava. That Sangor sweeps down to Emlava, hitting her hard with the first strike of his disc spines, but Emlava is fast and dodges the second attempt on her life. And again back to Wiggaut and Torbert. The Ogre is disengaging from Wiggaut, who tries to strike him down. Wiggaut swings his hammer, but too short. Torbert was faster and aims at Cariel, who is still celebrating his victory over Karza. He shoots hastily from the hip and misses. Hetan is running after Emlava, screaming at her and spitting in Asek's direction. Emlava reacts to Hetan immediately. From the dodge she did before, she jumps at Asek and scratches him a bit, as he is trying to swoop out of reach. Corvus is screaming at the lead belcher Torbert, obviously not approving that the ogre shoots in his direction. He jumps forward and swings at Torbert, but the ogre is still tumbling around from Wiggaut's attack and the recoil of his cannon. With a comical dodge and tumble, he just avoids Corvus's blade. Oh, Torbert gets hit. Blood splatters from his leg. Snuff Out moved into position and took a well-aimed shot. Oh, I can hear a roar. Oshur is back. He jumps down from his position, lands hard and bull charges Wiggaut. He turns around just in time to strike Oshur with his hammer. But still the impact of the ogre is unavoidable and knocks Wiggaut off his feet. Kafal in the east sees an opening in the fight between Corvus and Torbart and throws his harpoon, and he stumbles, gets his balance back and tries again, a throw from the hip, hits Corvus and pulls the harpoon back in a still elegant move. In the east, Tasha is still running after Wiggaut, and with an onslaught he strikes at Ushua. He hits his upper leg and slices deep into it. Oh, Ushua is screaming from pain. And there is Andrash climbing up the northeast ruin, shielding one of the totems from Rofo, who just arrived on top of that ruin. Damn, Rofo is fast. And the last reserves arrive. Maticek Iceblood with Snickers close to the northeastern trees, and Humral Taur and Desoban a bit more to the east behind the trees. The Burning Hands send in Silva and Serena from the west, and the Bugmans regulars Odo and Tuvok from the east. We jump directly to Oshur, who is still in a fight with Wiggaut. Oshur is yelling something, and blood-red beetle appears on his shoulder, which is jumping immediately at Wiggaut's face. Wiggaut drops his hammer and pistol and tries to get the thing off, but it does not move. He goes down on his knees, yelling from pain and still trying to get the bloody thing off. Oshu is grinning and ignoring Wiggaut. He turns to Tasha. Away from the screaming Wiggaut, we turn to Corvus, who is under attack from Kafal. Kafal is throwing his harpoon at him, and again and again. With fascinating dance-like moves, he's throwing that thing, pulling it back and sending it out again. The harpoon is ripping and tearing at Corvus, giving him deep bleeding wounds. Cariel is now engaging Torbart. Cariel attacks and Torbart tries to bite him. He manages to rip a good piece out of Cariel's upper arm, grinning with satisfaction. But Cariel does not let go, strikes at him again. Now that Torbart is open, he hit him very hard. Cariel's long axe slashes a deep wound across Torbart's chest. And Snuffout is firing at Torbart too. He seems too cautious and just scratches his shoulder. Oh, Torbart has enough of this and is trying to back away from Cariel. But oh, Cariel pushes his long axe after him. Hits, he strikes him down. He strikes him down. And now Hetan is closing in on Cariel. On her way forward, she growls a command at Emlava, which is attacking Azek immediately at this command. She jumps at him, ripping and tearing on his armor. Azek has a real problem to shake the Rock Tusk Prowler off. Back to the screaming and still cursing Wiggaut. Tasha is desperately trying to get to Wiggaut. There is just this Oshu in the way. With well-placed strikes, Tasha is fighting Oshu. Oh, Oshu takes a good beating from the Overlord, but is not moving an inch. And we turn to Azek. He finally shook off Emlava, but she really doesn't want to let go of that Zangor. She's trying hard to strike him down, but that disc of his is quick and slippery, and so Azek breaks free. But he's not shooting at Emlava. He is shooting at Andrash. And he hits him well. The Knobler is hurled back, tumbling, but not falling. Oh, a long arrow is sticking out of his chest. It looks painful. Maticek spotted Rofo on top of the ruin, close to a totem. Too close for his opinion. He moves closer and shoots at Rofo, who saw him coming and shoots back. Both hit, but nothing major happens. Back and forth we go. Now back to Azek, who gets charged by Desoban. But the Planesrunner can't get to Azek before he swings up again. And back to Rofo. He sees the heavily wounded Andrash and the bleeding Ursur. He turns to Ursur. He takes a snapshot at Andrash. Andrash falls backwards down the ruin and is not moving anymore. And Rofo is reloading so quickly. Oh god, it's hard to see. And he fires at Ursur too. Ooh, a well-placed shot. Ursur is stumbling, and he's down. Sylva, the priestess of the never-ending flame, is running to support Tashar. And from the other side, Fitchek is running fast as he can towards the totem that Tasha is about to destroy, but does not dare to get too close to the crazy Skypiker. He hides behind the column. Rock Tusk Emlava obviously has enough of that slippery Zangor and moves to attack Cariel, the brazen champion. The champion was prepared and the fight goes back and forth with both wounded in the end. And Rotan is still standing on his ruin. And again he fires at Kafal, the first fang. The first volley hits the first fang hard, but he manages to get out of the way of the second volley. Oh, and now I can see movement everywhere. Serena in the east is following her priestess. Snickers is running to take Andra's place on top of the ruin, and she engages Rofo. Humral Taur is running to support his first fang. Tuvok and Odo haste towards these two from the west. This battle seems to be nearing its end. So far not a single totem was burned. But I can see Eric and Gent. They enter one of the ruins and disappear down a trapdoor. What are these two up to? Oh, Emlava is on top of Cariel. And oh, she sinks her fangs deep into the brazen champion's throat. That finished the burning hand. With a triumphant roar, she jumps forward in the direction of Silva and Tasha. And Maticek seems to be sure that Snickers can handle Rofo and moves away to engage Asek in a fight. He grabs the disc, pulls it down and rams the spike of his crossbow into Asek. Aye, that's a deep wound. There's the rat-tat-tat of the volley gun again, and Rotan is laughing hard. Now he has two targets. He is spreading his shots between Kafal and Humral Taur graciously. Kafal is pushing himself in front of Humral Taur and goes down. He caught most of the bullets for his chief, and that was finally too much for him. Humral is grabbing his loyal follower from behind, while Rotan is still laughing. Ooh, a shrill war cry can be heard. It's Silva, the priestess of the never-ending flame. She rampages at Emlava, and with two strikes of her flaming stuff, she beats Emlava into submission. The rock tusk whines and runs off the battlefield. Oh, Snickers tries to grab Rofo, but he's fighting her off. Rofo is scratched badly, and Snickers got a wound out of that too. But oh no, Rofo is falling backwards off the ruin. Luckily his thrusters engaged immediately, and he landed soft. Oh, poor Snickers. She is utterly confused and tries to find Rofo. And we switch back to the middle of the battlefield. Desoban had enough of Asek swooshing around. He lets out a war cry and jumps onto his disc and grabs Asek. He is headbutting him, but obviously forgot about the beak of the Zango. Now he bites Asek in the neck. Asek is just trying to push that wild thing off him, and succeeds finally. Desoban is lying on his back in the dirt, but jumping to his feet in not even a second. It's good he did so, because Asek is angry now. He swoops down at the planesrunner, giving his disc a spin and rips open Desoban's arm. And with a strike of his bow, he knocks him out. Ooh, Snuffout is also still around. He seems confused, takes a few steps forward and sees Hetan. He fires at her hastily and hits nothing. No wonder he had to give up his privateering. Back to Silva and Tasha. Serena is closing in also. But she can't get past Tasha and is not happy about it. And Fitchik is still standing there and just squeaking, full of panic, looking at all the baddies around him. Yeah, and Tasha wants to be the baddie. He takes a good aim, charges at Fitchik, and the pikes rams right through the Gnoblar. Yep, that one's out. Hetan closes into that battle too, and she's just waiting in a defensive position, blocking the totem. In the west, Odo is charging Humral Taur. Oh, what a nutter. That Humral Taur is dangerous. But Odo is giving him a deep cut. Unfortunately, Humral Taur was taking that hit on purpose to open Odo's defense. And with a powerful strike, Odo gets knocked off his feet and moves no more. No, Tuvok is trying to get to Humral Taur too. What's wrong with these two? He hits him well. This time Humral Taur did not see it coming, but he's tough and still standing. And Rofo is jumping into the middle of the battlefield. He also aims at Humral Taur. Yeah, the Bugmans do not like this guy, obviously. He aims, shoots, and misses. And that's it for this fight. It was a big fight. The alliance of the Bugmans regulars and the Burning Hands did not succeed in driving the Senan clan and the Seven Cooks out of the ruin. Oh, a lot of unfriendly words were exchanged between the overlords and the Scions. They of course blamed each other for the disaster. But Wiggaut, who eventually got that blood beetle off his face, was very quick to give in and get his party out of there. Back in the camp, Erk and Gent are waiting for Wiggaut. Gent is immediately running to help the wounded, but Erk is just standing there, his helmet under his right arm and something big under a blanket in his left hand. Wiggaut seems to know what is coming, takes off his helmet too, and gets closer to Erk. Wiggaut grins broadly as Erk goes on one knee and presents Wiggaut the thing in his left. He takes it, removes the blanket and reveals a great hammer. The Storm Hammer! The party erupts into cheers. Everyone seems to be relieved and happy. Erk and Gent get hugged and kissed by Wiggaut, and even Thongil got up to congratulate these two. Wiggaut is bidding the party to sit down. He wants to say something. My dear friends, this is it. The Storm Hammer. Finally! All your efforts and all your pains will be rewarded. As soon as everyone is back on their feet, we will have a feast. A proper feast. All expenses paid by me. But let us hear the story of Erk and Gent, who found my Storm Hammer, with their exceptional skill and cunning. Speak, my friends. Tell us your tale of glory. Now Erk is taking a step forward. Yeah, me fellas. Thanks to the maps our Admiral provided, we were able to figure out that the Stormbringer was hidden in a vault underneath the ruins of Lucanaria. We doubled our efforts to pin the location of that thing when the Burning Witch offered us the collaboration. And we had a good idea where it is. So while you were fighting and you all fought well, my friends, we found the hatch that is leading to the vault. Dark was it down there and creepy. We went down the tunnel and stood before the vault in no time. Suddenly, 3 shapes crept out of the vault, like vapor. They formed vaguely human with swords and shields. They were moving to attack us. But we read about that. There's nothing about these guys. It's a trick to scare folks off. So we ignored them and opened the vault, and there it was, the Storm Hammer. So we sneaked out again and came here to await our glorious friends and to finally present them with this enormous prize. This was the Warcry Reporter. Thanks for listening. Until next time.